Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Wyoming, you did it. You actually did it. Yeah, for those of you who geek out on the channel regularly, you may recall this video from a month and a half, 2 months ago, where we said, hey, the state of Wyoming is kicking around an idea of basically banning gun-free zones. A bold move, really the correct move too, if you think about it and you understand what really happens in gun-free zones. Well, as it turns out, they've done it. They passed the bill, and it is going to go into law, and it's going to go into law without the governor signing it. We're going to explain all of that in just a moment, but today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about the state that just banned gun-free zones. So today we're trying to figure out just how effective is StopBox, and the best way to test that is to put it to test with some of our nation's youngest and brightest kids, you know, college kids. So with the help of Gun Law Junior there behind the camera, we got some of our local kids who are home for Christmas break. Let's see how they do. Okay, so why don't you give me your first name, your university, and what you're studying in?
Yeah, Herbert, UW, engineering, civil.
Eugene, studying computer science at Cal State Fullerton.
My name's Melvin, I'm at WSU and I'm studying mechanical engineering.
Sheldon, UW, quantum physics.
Dude, what's going on here?
You told me to get college kids.
I said college kids. I didn't say engineering majors. I meant like soc, psych, poli-sci, something like that. What's going on?
Science is what I could get.
You need to hang out with dumber friends. All right, gentlemen, this is how this is going to work today. I have here $500. Okay, that'll buy you a lot of beer or pizza or whatever the heck it is you guys spend your money on. One of you gets into this box, the money's yours. Have fun.
I don't know, man, we give up.
You guys are giving up, huh?
Yep, sir.
Really? Okay, well, looks like I get to keep the money, but thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, Sheldon, I read that paper you did about variability of measurements in quantum physics.
Oh yeah?
So, man. StopBox. Protect your family while protecting your family. Okay, Wyoming and America, we are talking about Wyoming House Bill 172, a bill which really significantly waters down the gun-free zone law in the state of Wyoming. To say that it absolutely positively abolishes gun-free zones would be a mild overstatement, but here's the thing, Wyoming. This bill basically does say that if you are otherwise lawfully allowed to possess a firearm and are lawfully carrying it, or what we call constitutionally carrying, or you're carrying pursuant to a Wyoming concealed carry license, well, many of the areas in the state that were previously designated as gun-free zones are no longer gun-free zones for you. And then in addition to that, and this is important, Wyoming, and for all of you around the country that are in states that don't have this, this is an important piece of legislation. It has absolutely solidified Wyoming's state preemption law. And what that really means is that the state and only the state government will be the ones who can pass gun regulations. You don't want to give that up to local jurisdictions for a couple reasons. Number one, you may love your state government, but there will be some local jurisdictions that you don't like the politics in. And number two, if you allow counties and municipalities and cities and like that to all pass their own different gun laws, then eventually if you're making a cross-state trek, you're going to be going through a wide tapestry of jurisdictions with different types of laws, which means you could go from legal to illegal to legal to illegal as you make this trek. That is not how gun laws, or for that matter, any law, is supposed to work. The bill, as I mentioned earlier, the Wyoming Repeal Gun-Free Zones Act, was passed out of both chambers of the legislature, went to the governor's desk. The governor wasn't too keen with the bill, but was not going to veto it, and probably knew that there was enough votes to override that veto. So apparently they got a procedural mechanism there in Wyoming where if the governor just sits on it for a while and nothing happens, it automatically will be enacted into law. That's what's occurred here, and this is important, Wyoming. This legislation takes effect July 1st, 2025, so coming up this summer. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you will have all sorts of new areas where you can lawfully carry a firearm. Some of them you are going to have if you're constitutionally carrying or carrying according to a permit. And then there will be a few areas where you must be carrying according to a permit in order for those to truly be gun-free zones. The places where your permit status does not matter at all, that you will now be allowed to carry a firearm into where previously you weren't, include 1. Any meeting of a government entity. 2. Any meeting of the legislature or committee thereof. 3. Any public school building not otherwise prohibited under WS 6-8-104T or regulated under this section. And then, Wyoming, you will also be able to carry a firearm into these locations so long as you have a valid concealed carry license. And they include 1. Any public school, public college, or university athletic event taking place on public property that does not sell alcoholic beverages. 2. Any public elementary or secondary school facility. And 3. Any public college or university facility. And in addition to all of those good things, this law sets up a statutory framework by which school districts can select and get teachers trained so that they also may carry while on school grounds. So an outstanding piece of legislation. Here's why everyone else in the country should pay attention to this, because it's the state of Wyoming, so I don't know how many groups like Giffords or Everytown are going to get all spun up about this. But if 3 years down the road, the state of Wyoming's gotten rid of all their gun-free zones, and yet they continue to be as peaceful and safe as they currently are as a state, well, one's going to have to beg the question, why do we have gun-free zones at all? And then, of course, when you take a look at statistics like this that come from the Crime Prevention Research Center, and you realize that a large majority of our mass shootings are committed, shockingly, in places where the shooter knows there will not be armed resistance, we have to again ask the question as to the intelligence of gun-free zones. So, Wyoming, congratulations. You guys got it going on in that state. Maybe how does Wyoming gun law sound as a channel? Because the way things are going here in Washington. Anyways, all right. It is House Bill 172. It is now passed. It is not signed by the governor, but it's becoming effective law July 1st, 2025. We'll link it up down below so that all of you can geek out on it. If you got any questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now. If you don't, that's okay. That information's down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video we should be doing around here, cool. Click on that link right there and tell us all about it. If you want to subscribe to our monthly newsletter, the ability to do all of that is right down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, America, let's remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation, how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.